packed arena. Oh man, I cannot wait to see how this all plays out.
Well, this bus path looking like it's cutting the island basically in half. Southeast to northwest, from Paradise Palms to Junk Junction, we've got a solid spread of players. You can see there, don't forget those little icons, the llamas. There's one in retail, one just east-southeast of Salty Springs, and one just south of the little soccer field, sports complex there, west of Tilted Towers. I look forward to maybe match number 6, the duo, the 2v2 of Godnick and Super Evan versus Nick Merckx and Aiden. We got Bizzle and DMO dropping down into Dusty Divot, including a team, Tendons and Punisher. Tendons and Punisher have gone to the warehouses at Dusty all 6 games.
Yep.
You have to realize some of these players, I mean, Tfue and Cloak, again, looking at the mini-map all the way down there. I've grown accustomed to seeing those red arrows down there, Jack, every single game. And still, surprisingly to me, no one trying to challenge that.
At some point, they've got to just send 10 people there.
I mean, realistically, how about this? If we ever end up playing in these, I'm going there. I want you to know that right now.
Yeah.
Solo.
I'll see you there
if I have to. No, you won't follow me because you don't want to run into Cloak or Tfue either.
Nope, not at all. As already, Nick Merckx getting this extra
quite
bit of materials. And I believe, is this the new skin that literally just came out with the randomized skins? This is new, right? I think this is it.
Didn't this come out? I think that came out with the Earhart skin as well.
Oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong.
Do you even play Fortnite, Jack? I'm kidding.
Oh, my bad. I've been a bad skin buyer in the shop.
You'll make up for it, I promise. Don't worry. Aiden and Nick rotating across that north side there. Super Evan trying to get a top-down view, probably calling out to Godnick right now that they're in the open exposed, but Nick's got that grappler, so elevation might change. Shots from the top of that tower. Here we go, Nate Hill and Fung Bomb. It's a duo we're expecting this to see put up some big numbers.
My goodness.
17 eliminations from these two. Look at the materials, 15,000 and almost 10,000 wood acquired between the two of them. 700 more damage dealt than they've received, which I think that explains clearly why they've been picking up so many elims.
Yeah, why they're near those top spots.
Nate Hill Shores.
Popping that mini. Moving back over to Nick. He's just chilling right now for the moment. Doesn't have a lot of materials, but they're all in the same building. Godnick and Super Evan. I'll give them props, man. They have not backed down from any of these fights. Can Nick Merckx and Aiden continue this momentum they earned from last game with the 5 elim they put, with the 9 elims they put up, sorry, the 5-point game they had.
Those two just dropped down. You saw Super Evan and Godnick falling down the middle of that stairwell. Is how they got to the bottom so quickly. It wouldn't surprise me if Aiden maybe potentially looking for a peek and angle from up top.
With them running away and trying to just get back from these fights, I think Aiden and Nick are thinking maybe these guys don't have as much shields as they'd like to have. Maybe they're not as confident in their ability to fight right now, and I think that's why they're trailing this so hard.
Almost surprised. I'm kind of surprised Aiden hasn't hooked Nick up with that 50, even though it would only give him 25 shield, just topping him off. And this 2v2 has happened so many times. Dopai over peak in a 2v2 of their own and Shifty Shafts. The shot from underneath, and Dopai loses all the shields, but Villex goes down. The duo, Villex and Giganza, eliminated in the final game here. Dopai missing all the shield. Overpeak still sitting at 75. Saint Morgassi, the tack shotgun, takes the team of Atlantis out. Paradise Palms, a pair of eliminations for this duo as well.
I feel like we've had a couple more limbs off the break right now. Players having to realize, hey, we need to put up some big numbers in this one if we want to climb back in, and that starts with getting these eliminations, moving towards the big bonus. Nick Merckx and Aiden. Now Godnick has made his way to the top of Big Red. I think Aiden right now might be falling back to try to give Nick the big shield, and well, as I say that, he gets ripped on up too. Here's Diggy, the perfect tilt in their fight near the bridge. That was a quick little cleanup on the germ, but back to the Nick Merckx and Aiden fight inside Tilted Towers.
There's a rift to go right next to Nick. If they need to get out, I wouldn't be surprised if they both double back to that. Somebody picks it up and they use it immediately. Now look, for just a moment in the distance from the sports complex, Zexro's name popped up.
Yep.
They might be getting ready to rotate east directly into Tilted to feed into the same 2v2.
It's worked for them in the other games. Why wouldn't they? Wow.
Ooh,
DK just ripped Dean in half with that AR spray. Sorry, with that SMG spray.
A window edit, quick window edit. TJ trying to find the other half of that duo there. Switching the ramp very quickly, trying to match height, gets an angle from underneath, but a third party taking shots from the southeast. He's gonna have to double back down and pop a couple of those minis. DK's gotta be in a position right now to assist his teammate. Aiden very low on HP.
Look at Nick's materials, legitimately 0.
Full zeros. Half mats.
Half mats needed now more than ever. Both teams traded damage, and there's that third party we talk about.
Guarantee
Nick
you
Merckx gets tagged.
It's got to be Zexro and Vinny coming in from that side.
And Nick's now knocked.
There it is.
They do the same thing every time. Nick's fall skirmish run is over with that elimination. It's going to be up to Aiden to try to make some magic happen.
We saw him actually, if you recall, I think during the fall skirmish in a solo week, maybe it was summer skirmish, Aiden literally jumped around in the open, taking shots at people, rotating out of tilted, and picked up so many eliminations. I would not put it past him to be able to clutch this up for that duo.
Here's Dean, who was able to disengage from earlier on. He did get rezzed by his teammate Lyle. They're just going to run because the zone is there, and wow, with 1:40 on the zone and it's already hit them, I feel like they've got to run a far, far distance. And I just looked at my map that I have here, and yeah, they have to go halfway across the map. These guys are all in a rough spot right here. Here's Aiden. He's used one slurp, looks like he's found another. Only 184 wood in his inventory. So keep breaking down for more. Here's a replay from Bala. Dropping on down to 1. Quick swaps to those epic dual pistols. A nice shot on the sketch. Did he find the second? Oh my goodness. Beautifully done. Winning that 1v2 with only 25 health.
Cloak and Tfue in retail. Must have rotated. At this point, I'm assuming they land down in the southeast corner, loot up like crazy, and then make moves towards, oh my gosh. They go for a rift to get here. 25 eliminations. Look at the material, almost 20,000 materials used, Jack. I think that's more material than I've ever used in Fortnite.
Oh yeah,
these are cumulative stats over the course of, I believe, the entire fall, sorry, just the grand finals.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. But either way, Tfue and Cloaksy down low. They've got players on it. That's the new one. That's the new skin that has come on in. The patch patroller.
Yeah, those stats were just from the grand finals.
Available now in the shop. Or will be available tonight. Again, the skins today are completely random, so just so happened that Tfue in this final game wound up getting it. So now you've got Cloaksy bouncing around.
They're going to start rebuilding those walls. Aiden on the outside here gets caught off guard by Vinny, that team that loves to third party at tilted.
That's all they do, and it's smart.
We got a round of applause here, though, for Nick Merckx and Aiden. An excellent show from these two. They should feel really good about the performance today, Jack.
Yeah, I'm wondering where they wind up ending up on the list, right?
So we'll have to see after this game. Now, Vinny and Zexro, they still have to make just a tiny bit of headway, though. Vinny's going to sneak in. They're both sitting on a ton of shield. Still plenty of HP. Tfue and Cloak looking like absolute tanks in the middle of the building there. Base holder, marksman. Marksman missing a little bit of shield, but base holder 100 as well. They're going to start knocking floors out. Pick up as many materials as they can. 72 hours, by the way, right now, with the most eliminations in the game. You might have seen his name popping up in the feed. He's sitting on 3 of his own.
Yeah, so Chap might have some.
You have to imagine if Chap's sitting on even a pair of his own, that's 5 right there. 2 points.
Really wanted to damage that floor.
Very angry at the floor. And TVs apparently. So, Swagnoodle saw his teammate down there trying to establish a 1v2. Ghoul, every shot he can get. Sav comes in to help Ghoul out. This duo knocking 2 more elims out. TJ going down to the Storm in the feed there. 74 players remaining. The match almost 10 minutes through. Saf and Ghoul going to lick their wounds in the building there, but the med kits between the two of them will make that easy. Gebber and Left Eye flying in those ramps. Just quick ramps up, single ramps, no reinforcement, just because all they need to do is fly for a little bit of time. It's like Left Eye's playing a platformer there, jumping into the
max stack grapplers. So darn good to have 3, or basically 4, 5, 3 in materials. As they just hang out for the moment.
I think an interesting stat to note here, the furthest distance elimination, Jack, was more Gossi thus far, only 27 meters away. All of these fights have played out very close
range. Very, very close range.
I think to me that states that a majority of the players that have been eliminated, by the way, a ton of materials in Zoof's inventory.
Yep.
A majority of the players eliminated have been from people dropping at the same POIs or just barely rotating in. Nothing has really been on rotation or a third-party situation just yet. Frost getting shotgun there. DK's looking to pick up some tags over there on Devious, the 2v1. SMG spray gets Devious down from TJ, and he's going to pop those bandages to stay alive in the storm. They still have quite a ways to travel.
Tempo and Jo.
Another duo from FaZe. We've seen these guys put up excellent performances in the past.
They've got Wilds and J-Truth above them. Cease and Elevate right next door as well. How will they play this? It looks like they're just trying to hide, pickaxes out, just chilling on the low ground as Wilds and J-Truth are feeling real confident with all their health.
We saw on our screen for just a second, Jack. We made reference to 72 hours in Chap. Chap actually has already been eliminated with 0 elims.
Wow.
So only 3 elims for that duo, but that's still a point. Could make or break a placement for them.
Oh, absolutely. Points at this stage of the game. One placement, 1 point in that top 10 if they wind up making it in there are the difference in thousands and thousands of dollars. It's Tempo and Jamok just staying low. Again, they are in the zone. Vinny and Zexro, we talked so much about how aggressive they are. They were the ones that did eliminate Aiden and Nick Merckx in this game. It looks like they want to fight for more against Marksman and Base Soldier. Every time we've shown Marksman, it's funny, he goes to call out something on the map and ping it. It's like, we always catch him like mid-strategy call out.
Curious if they're going to go for a couple shots on them. They're floating away. Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see here. He's trying to look for a peek. And here we go.
Make it rain bonus time.
The final Make It Rain bonus of the Fall Skirmish here. You hear that siren going off. Gives them 5.5 minutes for $10,000, the most eliminations during this time period.
Yeah, if no one claims this, it actually rolls over to the big bonus, the extra bonus there is for eliminations for the entire tournament. So that prize, I believe, would go from $50,000 to $60,000 if no one claims this Make It Rain. See what he gets in the crate. Anything good?
Anything good, Jack. It looks like a whole lot of good. He slides down. Vinny maybe missing the placement on the floor there. Angle catch him off guard. No big deal.
You got to think he'd drop one of these slurps for... Oh, wait, they already have. He already has two.
One of those slurps for another slurp, Jack. I'm not sure what to do at this point.
Nope, Zexro's just going to go pick it up. Yep, and use it.
A lot of players there. Still a team. The warehouse at Dusty Divot all the way up in the north. Northeast has a team. Yeah, a pair rotating from the east side, a few in the southeast corner. So there's a handful of teams still outside the zone. It looks like that north side push is going to be the most difficult around Dusty and further. 24 seconds until those teams have to start moving. And Vinny and Zexro have kind of a top-down view on everybody. At this point, maybe ramping up and just floating their way in. Oh my gosh, what am I looking at? The ramp size there. He looked at it for just a second. Jack, do you see that thing? Look at that thing. No one shot that down while they were building up.
Apparently not. And there it goes now, but...
You've got to imagine if someone built that ramp that high, I'm going to be...
They just glided to the south of the map.
And there's no way that they're still up there. So potentially shooting that ramp down was almost a waste of ammunition.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't have much,
every single round kind of counts. C's getting the knock on J-Truth, SMG, Zoof, and Crodot just hanging out here. Elevate finishing that elim. You see in the feed. Tempo, Jamok, we saw moments ago. That push, as I mentioned, from Dusty Divot south is going to be one of the most difficult ones. So many teams built up in the same area using these trees as the line of sight.
Trying to break on through. Again, this is where these games get insanely hectic. 70 players left in the lobby. Tempo goes down. DK trying to finish this elimination, and he does actually get it. Will he grab the grappler? You got to assume so. And boom, just like that, DK and TJ are right now at the top of the Make It Rain bonus. But there's still a lot of time left for teams to begin to make some noise.
There's a rift to go down there.
Nope, they missed it.
They just barely missed it. Did they grab the grappler or not? I couldn't quite catch it. The shotty there.
I don't believe so.
DJ's going to try and secure his friend. He might not be able to do it, though. Wilds in the mix with everybody else, pushing from outside the storm, and gets TJ in the back as he's rotating in. Very little HP left, but the storm's only ticking for 2, and he only has a little bit of ways to go. Gonna have to pop that just barely to save himself. No fall damage taken. Still only 28 HP. Has a full shield in his inventory. You hear rockets coming out. Zexro shotgunning Marksman in the feed and picks that elimination up. Wild's hoping that nobody tracked him into this box, Jack. He's got to get that shield off if he wants to stay in it. Flung bomb in the feed, picking up a knock on Dementos. Pate is still alive, gets the elimination, finishes it off. That's 2 teams with 2 eliminations apiece in this Make It Rain bonus with only 2 minutes, 15 seconds left. Bizzle and DMO have a top-down view on who is below them, but they can't really third-party because you have multiple teams over there, the west side from where they are, the top right of your screen. They're going to take shots as soon as they peak. Every elimination right now it feels like it's even more important than the last, and you cannot expose yourself for too long. You have to make the decision as to whether or not going for an elimination and maybe pushing for a big bonus, those extra points, is the right play call, and Bizzle and DMO are just waiting, biding their time for a rotation.
They're just hanging out at the moment. What do Dean and his teammate wind up doing down low? You see Wild still there. They're trying to chase down that elimination. Bizzle and DMO, they hear it. They just haven't been able to act on it quite yet. Now here's a look at Salty. Cloaksy and Tfue still alive, still with max health each.
Multiple teams from Ghost stacked up in the same structure right now. Ghoul and Saf. Some teammates down below. Opponents right now, though. Take a shot, seeing if there's anybody in the box. He pays the price for peeking just barely, takes a little bit of damage. Vinny and Zexro sitting on some of these cubes. They're going to use these in an effort to just float past anybody they can. You can't see me in the air because you're looking at everybody else.
See, now, I would almost love to see them use the same tactic as before, where you float it up as high as you can. Now they're going to land and just pop in the middle, and still they made it, absolutely. But
the play call there, probably just trying to get into the safe zone. Yep. Shots going to come out, kind of exposing the open. A very small box. That sting grenade is going to cost him just a little bit to drop down the shotgun. And the second shot from that double barrel missed, but it doesn't matter to Cloak. He gets the elim.
And he got knocked by a trap. So that player, because they got knocked, they'll be able to get. They should be able to get this res off. And they've got some utility to get out of here as well.
Nobody's going to make a push on that just yet. You saw Bog relocating. Dean was still knocking down a tree, trying to build up his own small 1-by-1 box. Anything to stay alive. The sharing of the shield there. Here we go. Ziff, Ronaldo pushing in on top of a box with an opponent underneath them.
And Ziff and Ronaldo already at 5 elims this game. Vinny and Zexro just joined as well at 5 elims now. Well, that's a beautiful.
Multiple tags in that box.
It's a beautiful stink. Was that on to Tfue and Cloak?
I believe it was.
Yeah. He's nearby this next zone too. Will not have to go too far.
Tfue and Cloak not missing a ton of HP at this point. Yeah, based on the position on the minimap, that had to be them that just got stink bombed.
He wants these materials so bad, and the items down there. There's a look at your scoreboard so far. Nate Hill and Funk Bomb at 3, so they'll get a point as well. Tfue and Cloaksy at 2 in total. Blind and Hysteria, who are doing very well in the first half of today. Haven't heard much of them since, but they're on the verge of potentially earning a point too.
You see in the bottom right, Tfue just took a little bit of damage. Another stink grenade coming out. Those stink bombs are so powerful in these competitive matches because so many players are in one or 2 or 3 box bases, and that's it. Zoning with those is incredibly good. Vinny and Zexro, we've had our eyes on multiple times. They took out Nick Merckx and Aiden.
They're already at the zone, so they're in a good position. Zip just got another elimination, putting them now at 6, so they're on the verge of big bonus as well. Zexro and Vinny trading some of this ammo. They have a Porter Rift, a Rift to go.
Now, this might be the lowest player count we've seen at the first circle move. 40 players remaining. Typically, I mean, previous games we've seen 60 plus.
Oh, Jayamok now done too. Hysteria with another knock. If they can finish that elimination, that'll put them at 3. Should give them a point. Morgassi and Saint still in this as well at 2 total eliminations. And yes, Hysteria and crew confirm that elim, putting them now at 3. Will they get into the big bonus is the question for Ronaldo and Zip right now. Remember, this is the final game of the Fortnite Fall Skirmish. Weeks and weeks have led up to this. Just shy of $2 million in prize money on the line this weekend.
Campfire there, trying to go for as much HP just in case during rotation someone decides to invade, catch them off guard. And here's the spread of the remaining players in this zone. A crate waiting atop Bizzle and DMO, and they may not even know it exists. Dweefo and Snood moving across, trying to pick that up, and they go for it and get it inside the box. Blind and Hysteria still alive at the bottom. Tfue and Cloak at the top left of your screen still alive. Tendons and Punisher still alive. The number of teams we've seen from the beginning of these games almost every single time. And the distance on this one, Jack, is going to be tough. They got to move to the southwest corner of Salty Springs.
They're getting there right now. Blinded Hysteria are definitely getting there. What I do really like is how they're using these materials right now. One was just nearby. Tried to go for the quick edit on the window to potentially secure another elimination, but look at how Blind is maneuvering. He's not panicking and overbuilding, right? He's making the most of every mat he has, not actually going for that pump shotgun.
Choosing the common tack.
Wow.
Caliber and Nolan floating in. He still has what looks like potentially another Rift to go. We'll have to see depending on what's in his inventory when he lands. Saf takes out Raz.
Funk Bomb with another knock. They're now at 5, but Nate Hill is knocked, and Funk Bomb's taking a lot of damage from the zone.
Ronaldo and Ziff still sitting at 6 eliminations. One more will get him a 3rd point, and every elim after that is the big bonus, which means a potential for a ton of points for that duo. Funk Bomb hanging on there. Then he's going to take shots from behind as these players rotate, but he's going to start to take storm damage. He's got to start moving.
They're gatekeeping right now. These stinks could be huge as well. People have to run right through this. A big 70 tag. No follow-up yet. Vinny does get tagged hard. Zexro still very healthy with a Rift to go as well.
Over 1,000 small rounds. Are you seeing that? Are you kidding me?
Oh my goodness.
SMG spray for days. Zexro.
Saf and Gould has moved to 6 elims. Ronaldo and Ziff at 6 elims. Vinny and Zexro at 6 elims. Who will move in a big bonus first, if any?
The play style change, Jack, I feel is apparent. Multiple teams at 6 eliminations.
Yep. Oh my gosh, look at the elim feed. Saf and Gould just jumped to 9 elims. Is that a 10th? 10 elims now for Saf and Gould. Oh my goodness, that just came out of left field.
It happened so fast. Cloak still in the feed.
It's a 6-point game for them.
Cloaks, he's still around, has 3 to his name right now. 12 players remaining, Jack.
Ronaldo and Zip, they have not moved into big bonus yet. Rocket goes up. They're going to fall on down.
The only rocket he had left. You can hear him land on top and start to build. The layering up, 9 players left as the circle is almost closing. Cloak and Tfue are out.
Yep. Great performance from them today. We'll find out where they stack up when we reveal the winners and standings after this.
Zexro sitting at 2 eliminations. His teammate is 5. Vinny has 5, which means they're at 7. Every single elimination for Zexro at this point.
No,
Saint just fell. Saint falls.
Nice knock. Zexro floating on down. He's just hoping people almost forget about him up here.
He could pick up multiple points right now
by just floating.
There's 6 opponents left.
Yep. I believe they're guaranteed top 5, which will be another point too.
Jack, look at the number of players just exposed in the open fighting each other. He's going to dip in. DMO.
He's floating on down. DMO now out. Zexro in the fight. Can he get it?
There it is! 8 eliminations.
Big bonus and the victory royale.
Jack, that game was worth 7 points for that duo.
Oh, what I say, it doesn't matter what your day's been up to this point. One pop-off game can make the difference. 8 eliminations and the victory royale. Beautifully played at the end. He saw his moment of opportunity, and he strikes right here. Look at this. Lands right on him before they can even react. He's got him eliminated. Beautifully done by Zexro. Congratulations to that duo. They just skyrocketed up the leaderboards. The difference in prize money for that performance could be $50,000 plus, if not more.
Welcome
and
to
they already won
Fortnite.
$50,000
Exactly.
because of the. Oh my goodness. Because of the
victory royale bonus.
They win $50,000 right away. You see the hugs there.
I want to point out one of the first things that he did was fix his hair right afterwards, too.
Got to give him props for that, baby. He knows there's a lot of people watching. This team, Zexro and Vinny, they definitely made a name for themselves this weekend and expect to see a lot more of them in the future.
We talked about them
aggressive
multiple
players.
times.
Yes.
The knowledge of the engagements in Tilted and exactly when to push in. It even paid off the last match, picking up a pair of eliminations on Nick Merckx and Aiden, knowing just when to move in, but not too early, not too aggressive, and waiting for the last moment. You saw right there as he's floating in from above. The timing on the drop was literally everything to win that game.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is all our matches today. Can we give a round of applause, please, for our players who competed in this insane, insane tournament? What a run it was. My pleasure to be here casting alongside you, Ben, because that was a ton of fun. Now we just have to wait and see. Who is our champions? Where does it all break down in the standings? Questions I think a lot of